you know what this is today? It's make a cake out of Manky Fruit Day. Manky lime, Sainsbury's, you should be ashamed of yourselves because we got 3 like that. Not very nice. But
4.
Oh, 4 like that. Out of the 5. 4 out of the 5 like this. So yeah, you can, we still managed to get some lime off it. But these aren't quite manky, these are just ripe actually. These are passion fruit, which were hanging around in the fruit bowl for a couple of weeks now, maybe even longer. But they were really smooth when we got them, which means that they're unripe, and I've let them go nice and wrinkled, which means they're ripe. So it's kind of Manky Fruit Day. But anyway, basically, this is a really quick, very refreshing cake. And it's quite light, but it's also full of sort of citrus and zing and tang. It's a lovely cake. So it's lime and coconut base, and then I'm doing a passion fruit drizzle on top. So it's kind of like a lime and coconut passion fruit drizzle cake thing, Manky Fruit Day cake. Yeah.
And if people don't have passion fruit, what could they? Oh, right, yeah,
Just
you
go
could use lemon, couldn't you?
Well, what I would do is I would use lime zest in the base, and I would use a little bit more lime zest and more lime juice in the drizzle. So I just make it a lime and coconut drizzle. But if they do have some passion fruit, or they can get some, then it's really worth making. So in here is the butter and the sugar. It's about 50 grams of each in there, and the grated rind of 1 Manky lime. And so this now needs to be beaten until it's pale and fluffy. And this is where you kind of say, oh Lottie, I know that your shoulder's really bad. Would you like me to take over for you?
No, what you want is your minion
Yes.
to do it.
Yeah. Dobby.
You got me a sock?
No, you're not free. That's beautifully done. Almost as though you've done it before. A lot. So now this is all looking beautiful. I'm just going to scrape down the sides. And add the eggs bit by bit. There's a couple of eggs there. They're about medium sized. And just beating them up with a fork loosely. So just going to add those bit by bit into the cake mix. Now something monumental happened last night, didn't it? And I've been dreaming about it ever since.
You're talking about Boris's speech?
No, that's a nightmare, darling. No, this is what I was dreaming about all night. Well, I'm just waiting. I have just got to have a moment to talk about.
We had a Waitrose delivery.
It's my baby. I made this. It's the first one I've ever made. It smells beautiful, all with the help of the wonderful Richard Bertonet. He's been helping me. He's also got a fabulous book called Crumb, which I've been, using the recipe from. But he gave me a little bit of advice secretly, and actually we can see a little bit in a minute of my reaction when he told me to make my ferment stiffer and how I did it. Watch this. Richard, is this right now? Is that because I added 200 grams? See? I was completely hysterical. It was the funniest thing because he just said make it stiffer, and I did, and I lost the plot. Anyway, and not being filthy, it was nothing to do with that. Don't get that in your mind, no. It was just because I couldn't mix it, and he had told me my previous starter, which was sort of like liquid, was dying, and I had to add more flour to it, and then it would be okay. But anyway, it's a long drawn out story. So I'm going to add a bit more egg, and then beat that in, and then add the rest. Sorry about that. Now, what goes in next is some self-raising flour, but also some coconut shreds. Now you can use desiccated coconut if you don't have the shreds. I actually don't have any desiccated, which is why I'm using the shreds. It's perfectly fine. Desiccated is just sweeter. So in actual fact, it would just make the cake a little bit sweeter. So you might want to just sort of reduce it by about sort of 15 grams in the sugar department. But what I did was I got my shreds and I've just cut them down a little bit, not hugely because I still want to have some sort of texture in the cake, but just a little bit. And these are just sort of flakes. There's lovely coconut. That's like chilled to them as well. So So we're going to be adding 25 grams of coconut to this cake and 75 grams of self-raising flour. Is 23, 25 on the nose. Use that for decoration. And then 75 grams, taking up to 100 of self-raising flour, which ideally you use a spoon to get out of the bag and not your fingers, because then what happens is you get flour everywhere. So gently fold that into your egg, flour, egg, butter and sugar mixture. And what I'm going to do as well is just add a little squeeze of lime in there as well. Sometimes you can add a little splash of milk. I know Mary always suggests that, and she's absolutely right. It's always quite good just to give a tiny splash of milk. Well, that's the time I've seen her do that. It may not be, what she does all the time. So stir that in. A little bit of lime juice. It's got any? Yes, it has. I think we're all right. A little bit. So I'm going to pop that into a lined loaf tin. And then I'm going to bake it at
180.
180. For about 25 minutes. I'll tell you again when it comes out how long it's exactly been. Okay, 2 lovely, gorgeous passion fruits. Now I'm just going to sieve the seeds. Okay, it takes a little while because all I want is that lovely juice. I don't want the seeds. Nothing wrong with the seeds. I mean, you just don't really want to have them in your mouth. And all we want is that lovely juice that surrounds them, which smells amazing, doesn't it? It's so pungent. So, I'm going to add what's left of the lime juice to that, and then a little bit of icing sugar. There we are. Took a little while, but you really want to make sure you get all of that lovely fruit from the seeds. And I'm going to add a little bit of icing sugar as we go, because this is the drizzle. So it's kind of like an icing, I suppose. But it's not going to be as thick. So you just stir in the icing sugar, and then we're going to add a little bit of the lime juice to let it down as well, because as I said, it is a drizzle, not a very thick icing. So. That goes in. It's almost there. I'll get the right consistency, and when you come back you'll see it. So we'll be pouring it over the lovely warm cake. Told you it's a little cake. It smells amazing. Oh, that coconut. Okay, so make some little holes in the top for our drizzle. Now, you feel free to double this recipe if you so wish, but it is just the 2 of us, and our freezers are beginning to get very full with all the amount of food that we're cooking at the moment. I'm just going to get a little bit of this drizzle, and I'm just going to put it on and let it just slowly and just let it rub in to the cake, because I want it to go inside the cake, okay? Not just on the top. To go down its little holes. The smell of this passion fruit glaze is incredible, drizzle. It is just wonderful. It's such an intense flavour, passion fruit. It really is. It's so wonderful. And it will lift this cake so beautifully. Make it really refreshing. Perfect with a cup of tea later on, Mr. Hackett. What do you think?
Sounds like a
You up for
marvellous
that?
idea.
Yeah. Can you see how it's just, you must do this while it's warm as well, it's important, but it's just letting the cake absorb all of that drizzle. So do it bit by bit, have a bit of patience. It doesn't matter if it takes a little while. We're not going anywhere today, are we, John? For the foreseeable future, we're not going out. So last bit, get it all on there. And then just to finish, Oh, that's good. A little bit of the coconut flakes just on top. Okay. That were left over. Okay, and then now it's very important because obviously, as you know, I like to just try these things so everyone can see how delicious they are. And then I'm not doing it on a plate. I'm being a bit naughty, but I'm just going to take an end. Okay. And I'm just going to shove that entirely in my...
Can we see it first, please?
Oh, sorry. It's a little warm, as it always is when it just comes out of the oven, funnily enough. Coconut. Oh. I really like that. Really, really, really like that. That coconut cake. Buttery and coconutty, and you got the lime zest in there, which works so well with that passion fruit drizzle. It's so good though. Oh, I really want people to make this cake. Please make it and show me some pictures, because you've all been sending me some amazing pictures of what you've done. Give this one a go. So good.